Let's do this.
What do you want me to say?
Oh, on the Instagram story?
Mhm.
You could film me talking.
Okay.
Why not? I posted an Instagram. Well, I guess it wasn't it was a Google form. And why don't we open that up and look at the results? I can't read chat yet, so I need to get my MacBook. I think you can probably get a bit more interesting.
Yeah, I don't like taking videos and doing it, so
Okay.
I'm not gonna do it.
You're going to do your own thing?
So what do you want me to say?
Today we'll be reading the Amazon user manual.
No. That's not true.
That's not true. All right, I got the chat open, and let me show you the results. So it looks like it goes synths, chord progressions, ambiances, and then drums. Ooh, I think it just changed as I was reading it. Okay, songs, extending ideas, and programming drums.
So what should I write on this thing?
Why don't you post the results? Do you want me to take a picture?
The screenshot and send it to me.
Oh, okay. Screenshot and send. Okay.
You know what? Take a photo.
You're doing your own thing? You're not doing it at all?
No, take a photo.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
So I can edit it.
Okay, do the last one. I think there's no URL in it. All right, yeah, that's a good move. Thanks for sending in the poll. I need to plug in my headphones too. All right, much better. I tie my hair in two places so that the headphone band doesn't get blocked by my hair. I don't think I have very much strength left in terms of having long hair. I think I'm going to shave it off pretty soon. It's getting pretty hard to handle. All right, next do is going to be clean shaven, I think. Maybe a bit of extra hair on the top. But I have, after struggling with my hair for so long now, I have this fantasy of using just like a bar of white soap on my hair. I think that would be awesome. I did a stupid thing maybe 2 years ago and stopped washing my hair just to see how that would go. And for basically until recently, I would go 2-3 weeks without washing it with shampoo, just using like shower water. And then what happened was my scalp stopped producing oils as fast, pretty much matching like the rest of my skin. But the downside is if I ever do wash my hair now, it dries completely out, like horrible nightmare. Yeah, maybe I have enough hair that I could do the bowl cut and then do my desired haircut. I just don't care about hair anymore. I just want none of it. I have, I use, it's called Mane and Tail. I'm sure like a lot of people know about it now. But it's basically originally shampoo for horses. And when I started using it, they hadn't yet rebranded it as a shampoo for humans and horses. It was still just horse shampoo. But now they've caught on that like hipsters like to use it. And yeah, that's what I've been using. All right. I can see this update in real time, which is cool. A lot of people voted, but only 50 people are watching. I'll be talking about my hair for 45 more minutes and then stopping the stream. Okay, let's just get into it. We're going to learn how to create synths from scratch. Or at least learn how I make synths from scratch. Might not be the best general tutorial, but maybe you'll learn something. Let's make sure, yeah, you can hear this. Okay. I pretty much primarily use Massive. Oh, let me move this up. I wanted to fix that last stream. How's that? Okay, hold on. Bear with me. All right, there we go. Yeah, I'm kind of stubbornly self-taught because obviously you can watch videos and stuff and learn a lot pretty fast, but I'm really stubborn with that kind of thing. Especially when it's something I care about knowing about. If it's something like how to cook or something, I need to watch videos, but if it's something I care about, I want to be like, no one teach me, which is kind of a terrible approach, but that's the way I've been doing it, and that's why it took me so long to make anything that sounded good. I had piano lessons though, so I think without piano lessons, I wouldn't have been able to teach myself very much on the piano. All right, so Massive is pretty great. I find that any sound that I hear that I want to copy from somebody else, I can do it in Massive. And on top of that, when we play live, I use Massive, but I don't run any plugins on the synths, so I need them to be completely contained in the patch. So when I'm working on the live show, I'm able to take all the effects that I've put on it, like EQ and stuff, and do it all in Massive and save the patch. So I like this program. All right. So I'm sure everybody watching that asked about making synths has seen Massive before or used it. But there's probably a few people that haven't opened Ableton before even. So I'll go through it a bit. I basically don't use any of these oscillators, except for a couple can be cool, but I mostly stick to saw and pulse wave. And I used to do a lot with like triangle and square, which is cool, especially if you're trying to do like a slow-mo type thing. then like straight square wave is perfect. I think he has a lot of songs where it's just square wave and like pitch wobble. All right. What I do if I don't have anything in mind is just kind of follow a sort of pattern, but try and change it up so that I'm making something interesting. Especially if the first thing I'm doing is having no idea and just trying to make something from scratch. Literally with nothing in mind. So I'll do that now. I'm going to go with pulse wave because lately it's captured my attention. It was something I didn't really understand or didn't like the sound of, but recently it's really cool. You can kind of pick the overtones a bit and pick kind of the main overtone just by changing the width of the pulse. So there's like a fifth. There's an octave. I think, did I sing a fifth last time or did I sing an octave? Okay, question for everybody already. If you listen to this for too long, do your ears create this weird, quantized, creepy sound? I'll play it for a second. Okay, I might have ruined the illusion. Just hold on. My hand slipped. It's like tiny little dust fairies. I don't know, like this one time I was working on this sound. It was one of the scariest moments I've ever had. I was working on this weird sound and I was doing some weird thing. Like I had like a really tiny pulse width or something and I was like doing something with the resonance and with the 3D image. And then when I stopped listening to the sound I was making, the effect was so strong that I could barely hear anything. Like if people were trying to talk to me, all I could hear was this like crazy sound and it wouldn't go away for like 5 minutes. Somehow the sound I made was like reprogramming the, I don't know, maybe like the neural, I don't know what it would be. Like some part of my brain that takes the information and turns it into sound got confused for a long time. And yeah, I thought it was done for. I thought it was forever. And it was the most terrifying sound when it's that loud that if I had to live with that, I don't know, it'd be worse than tinnitus. Okay, let's get into it. Sorry. So definitely filters. I don't know how you'd make a good sounding synth without a filter on it. It's going to like roll off all the high frequencies, and this curve in this third tab sets the filter amount. So basically it's linear with the notes. So if this is hitting a fifth, every note will hit its fifth. Whereas if this is flat, I'm scared of this graph. I literally, sometimes I click it wrong and it crashes my computer. So I'm not going to press it, but this is different from if you put a low pass like this. Basically, as you play higher notes, it changes the filter according to where you're playing on the keyboard. So, let's get just a nice sounding start of a synth. Right here, the pulse is equal to the silence. So it's drawing a square wave, which is what it is now. Okay, I'll go with that. And all right, so secondly is putting an envelope on the filter. another thing that probably every synth that I program has. Let me know if you're confused about anything or if I'm explaining too much. Now I can set the velocity to set the height of this curve on the filter. All right, so really simple so far, but I mean, it's a good start for me. I'm going to try and make just like a nice warm sound for maybe a key part. If you guys have any questions for synths in particular, like which type of synth, maybe that's a better approach to this instead of just doing random shit. So if you don't know this trick, this is amazing. In voicing, you can set the you can set it to 2 oscillators here, and then with this, it'll basically create 2 oscillators and pan them separately in a way that's like, I don't know what it does exactly. I'd like to look at the waveform. It might just put a delay in the or might shift the phase of one, but it seems to be almost random. Like each note has its own. So right away, like without this, it's completely mono, and this is just an easy way to make it stereo. I like that. Okay, we're maxing out on the it doubles when you do this, so. Okay, a bunch of weird. Why are you getting a black screen? Anybody else getting a black screen? Okay, I haven't done anything here, so I'm going to add more velocity to the main volume and fix the attack and release so it's a bit less clicky. All right. So if I drag this LFO to the pitch, I can now set, say, this is a quarter of a semitone. And then I could make another envelope so that the wobble on the pitch, the amplitude of the pitch wobble increases over time. So I'll make that here. I'll set this to linear and do this. And then put that on the amplification. So maybe you can hear it, maybe you can't. Okay, cool. Let's make this more interesting. We can do a couple things. I'm going to add a second oscillator with a envelope on the pitch. And put that on its own filter over here. Down here, I don't, maybe someone can tell me what these do, but I use them a lot, but I don't exactly know technically what it's doing. Oh boy. This sounds like crazy sub frequency, sorry. I like whatever's happening here. I don't exactly know. I think the cutoff is really close to the actual pitch. So it's wobbling in between the two. So I'm going to get close to, if you can't get these knobs close, here's another trick. You can use one of the macro knobs and create a smaller range and then control it from here. So I'm trying to get that second fifth. Whoa. Okay, I like what this is doing, but I don't know why it's a lower pitch with a lower resonance, but I'll use the same one to affect this. All right, that's cool. I want something a little brighter on top now, so I'm going to add a third one at an octave. And now to make it interesting, let's put some release on the whole thing. Okay, it's getting cool now. So we could try using some of these, but I might do it off of massive instead. We can add some noise, but I don't typically do that so much anymore. It was really fun to do at one point. We can't even add noise because we have both filters running, so. Oh, it's breaking a bit. Let's do it. It's like really. Let's add more pitch to the front. So if the pitch starts high and goes to the pit, let me rephrase that. What would you call that? I don't even know. Well, it's the pitch envelope. If it starts high and bends down into the note, it's going to sound like a percussive instrument, like even a guitar string. The start of it is slightly higher than the note that it reaches. Especially things like thumb pianos, maybe not thumb pianos, maybe marimbas, especially steel drums and stuff like that, where the actual tension changes as you hit it. If it approaches from below the note, it sounds almost like a bubble. It's very strange because I don't know if there's any physical object that does that. I'm not sure if I like this anymore. I've ruined it. Definitely ruined this. Let's put some room reverb on this and move on to a different synth. Maybe leads would be better. Or pads. I think I asked you to comment, but I wasn't paying attention. So If you guys want to see a different kind of synth. Let me know. All right, I'm deleting this. I can show you a couple synths that I use on the show too. Oopsie. This is from 7 a.m. This is not very informative. This is like a square wave, and the intensity knob's turned down so that it just hits this fifth here. So if I turn this off for a second. And then I have a envelope on that, so it's just hitting that fifth for less than the note is. Not very cool. This is my favorite synth I've made. I use that in the end of 7 a.m. and Tomatoland. Let's break it down. The whole thing's detuned, so I'll just put it in tune. Why not? That's confusing. All right, so there's a saw wave and two pulse waves. And I couldn't tell you why they're all out of pitch. I think it's the chorus here. No, it's the pitch here. Okay, the pitch, one of them is detuned. So it's going to go back and forth from having like a, what's it called? the beats. What's it called? There's a name for the beat frequency. So it's just going back and forth through that because it's detuning only one of them. And it just gives it more like, I don't know, it's kind of like a multi-stringed instrument. Especially a piano, you almost need multiple number of strings for each key hit. And when I was tuning my piano, I did some research. You don't tune all the strings perfectly in key. You actually tune them all slightly away from each other to give like a richness to the note. Similar to this. I just tuned the whole song 30 cents flat. I met Skrillex from the Seinfeld bass line. Somebody texted him a video of me playing it. Oh, how do you tune it? Okay, so to tune a synth flat, you just use the pitch here. That's loud. Sorry, everyone. So the second value is the tune. Okay, I'll show you how to make a pad. In my opinion, saw wave is just the number one go-to for any pad. You're going to want to have multiple oscillators running, all detuned from each other. So if I make this one 15 up, I can make this one 15 down. And they're all going to play at the same time. Pretty classic, like... what's the song? Gorillaz Plastic Beach has a lot of just like straight oscillators off the microKORG. This is an important part. It sounds like you want to do like a really slow attack on a pad, but it's really hard to program that way. So I just do a pretty short attack and deal with later on reverb. And release is the same. The reverb will cover basically like the decay of the pad. So that's good there. One thing you can do is create one more envelope and put it on the amplifier. I don't know what you call this, amplification. Someone knows what that stands for. There's a better way to do this too, but let's do it the better way. This is stupid. Here we go. So it's going to control this level here. So we don't want it to start at exactly 0. So just a bit of sound, and then it'll slowly reach its max volume. Cool. You could put any reverb sound you want or plugin you want, but this one is awesome for pads. The reason is it has this modulation knob, which puts like a random noise oscillator on the pitch. So you can play around with these settings and get it to sound cool. All right, sounds good. I'm going to increase the release a bit on this. I used to hate the reverb in Ableton, and unless they changed it, I just changed my mind. So I changed the default load up of it, and it's pretty good now for me. I feel like it loads on default with low quality, which might have been what I was experiencing. But definitely Toro Verb sounds a lot better. And that's just saw wave. You could do a lot of things like put one of the oscillators an octave higher. Or you could go with pulse wave on some of these. Or put a filter on everything if you want kind of like a really soft synth before the reverb, and then you can kind of mix the reverb in instead of relying on it for the pad. So I can turn off the filters on the reverb now. I don't really get too much more complex than that for pads. What I like to do is layer other things on top. So thanks for the subscription, Navy Tail. All right, let me show you how to layer on top of pads. That's definitely what makes pads sound good in my opinion. Let me not go with that chord. It's gonna be really hard to find samples. Alright, so I have a lot of different stuff. Lately I've been making music on the stream and just pulling random stuff over, which is kind of a cool way to do it, but I might search a little bit for something more usable. Okay, I like that note. Okay, let's EQ this. Let's see if we can make this sound good. Right now, I'm not too sure. Thanks for the subscription, Vlad Music. I'm going to put some kind of delay on this. This might not have been the best sound to use. I made a Twitch subscriber channel on Discord. So if your Discord's connected to Twitch, you'll automatically see that channel. And if you're a subscriber and you're on the Twitch and you're on the Discord server, but you don't see it, you should connect your account. So far, I've only started uploading all the samples that I've downloaded from Freesound. Basically, I think there's like 700 of these, which is basically, I didn't make them or anything, but they're better than just random samples from Freesound. I'm going to upload that, but I'll also put stuff like, maybe I'll post like a song that's going to be released. I'll post it earlier, or maybe ideas I'm working on, I'll share there, and whatever else you can suggest that I should share. Okay, this this layer sucks. I'm going to get something better. I like this. Somehow I have this folder of every recording of the same piece that you all probably have heard before. quite a strange thing. I don't know how I ended up with this on my computer. But there's some cool recordings in here. That's cool. I'm gonna take out some of the bass. It's not matching with the rest. Okay, that's better. I don't, is it even, that's what I thought. I thought it was from Well-Tempered Clavier. But it says Ave Maria, which I think is a different piece. Let's put some water sounds over this. Maybe stream will help. Okay, let's use this. One more thing. Let's see. I'll just find something random. Oh, I wanted to show this on the last stream for those of you that were watching last time. I was trying to show this song, which is also in the Safeway commercials. Let me repitch it just in case. You guys shop at Safeway? Anyways, there's this sick little part in this song. The most epic cowbell string reverb sound ever made. And it was used in that one song, Steal My Sunshine. I really like orchestral recordings, especially slow ones, which you can find by putting like Largo in a search. Thanks, Hands Beats. These ones seem kind of fast paced. I don't know if I've ever used these. I take it back. This one's slow. Let's use this and we'll warp it a little slower. A cool thing about major triads is you can use them. Thank you for the subscription, Suicidal Cat. You watch a lot. I think almost every time you're here. Yeah, with major triads, say you have like this chord. You can put the major triad anywhere to create a different chord instead of going with just an octave like this. You could put it up on like B flat major triad. So for this, I'm gonna tune it to B instead of the chord, which is in E flat. Or sorry, B flat. This chord I'm gonna tune to B flat. All right, and then I have to remove the B flat in the bass. All right, let's see if that works. then for the next chord, I'll just pitch it down for the, I think I played A flat. All right, this doesn't sound so great. I'm rushing, but I hope you're getting some idea. Let's do something different for this one. How about a phaser? That's pretty corny, actually. Thanks for the subscription, Bashful. Is it that the 1 month stuff is there like a prompt saying for like to renew the subscription? What is that emote? Oh my god. Okay, that's my basic pad tutorial. Especially if you've heard like stuff from like the Alina Perez Galimatias. Is that how you say it? That album has a lot of pads that are basically this and a low pass. One thing that album did was, I might not be right on the technique, but I think they basically made all the chords for the pad and then freeze and flatten it. Thanks for the subscription. Today's a good day. So once they're frozen, you can remove the attack speed on the reverb and just cut to the chase here. So if I take, they should have had a longer decay, but if you listen to the album, if you haven't heard it, it's called Urban Flora. I'll play a little part of it. So the pads switch right on the kick drums. So my guess is they did it like this. Mine's a bit fast, obviously. They also kept a bit of the high frequencies on some of the songs. It's not so cut off like this. And then, you know, that with Rain layered on top sounds great. I think the reason this album is so good is the distinction between frequencies. Her voice is so clear and bright, and the rest of the music, besides the kick and snare, are all cut off, so it creates this like crazy feeling. All right, I'm gonna move on to the next one here. Let me refresh, make sure. All right, Egg. I don't know how Egg got to 48, but that's the next one, so. How did this happen? Is this real? Did someone vote for Egg 48 times? I don't think this was a collaboration. I think this was the sole effort of one person. Oh my god. Well, let's do an Egg tutorial, I guess.
Yo, who wants this egg? Yo, who wants this egg?
She looked
wants
at
this
me
egg?
with certainty. Okay,
Who wants this egg? Yo, 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 who wants...
obviously there's some crazy sidechain on this style.
Yo, yo,
So I'll do that.
yo, 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 who wants... Yo, who...
The release is actually really short, I think, and they just have the threshold all the way.
Yo, who wants...
Because it kind of clicks on after the kick drums.
Yo, who wants this egg? Yo, who wants this egg?
Thanks for the subscription. Oh boy, my MacBook's gonna die. All right,
Yo, who wants this...
this is my egg tutorial and I'm moving on.
Yo, who wants this egg? Yo, who wants...
Maybe I'll put in a snare. Why not? Hi. That's not a snare. That'll work.
Yo, who wants this egg? Yo, who wants this egg?
Yo, who wants this egg?
Yo, who wants this egg? Yo, who wants it? Yo, who wants this egg? Yo, who wants this egg? Yo, who wants this egg? Yo, who wants this egg?
So as you can see, the Who Wants This Egg sample floats on top of this pad sound.
Yo, who wants this egg?
Especially if I turn it up.
Yo, who wants this egg? Yo. Yo, who wants this egg? Yo, who wants this egg?
Just a show of hands. Who wants this egg? I'm done with egg tutorial. But I have to do something. There's obviously a lot of effort put into this project. Okay, writing chord progressions. This sounds good. I might keep this.
Yo, who wants this egg?
Dreamy. All right. Let's get a piano up. Let's get the Ableton stock piano. Ooh. No, I want this one. Where is she? There we go. This piano is so bad, and somehow it's comprised of actual recordings. My damper pedal doesn't work. I call it damper pedal. I'm sorry. That's just what I call it. Okay. If you knew nothing about music theory, how would you write a chord progression? Let us ponder that question. I don't know. I don't know. Find a key. That's step one, which you can change afterwards. But let's just pick C because we can deal with all the white notes. Triad. Just skip every second note 3 times, 2 times. Triad. And you can play that anywhere on the white keys and you'll get all the chords of the chord scale C major or A minor. And aside from this note, the note right before C, they're all major or minor triads. This one happens to be diminished, which is really strange. Definitely evidence for some mistake in grand design. Everyone say hello to B diminished. Or is it G? Okay. So you can just mix these up. So it's not going to sound great, but if you know nothing about chord progressions, just play any one of these and skip B, because it's going to ruin everything. There we go. I tried to make that random, but you know, maybe not. This sounds like a song I know. Let's take it down a notch. Now let's just work in Ableton because it's going to be a lot better. You can take the bottom notes of these and that'll be your bass notes. So drag that down an octave or shift down arrow. We want to duplicate it though, so I'm going to click and drag. I don't think you can fold the piano roll to a scale, but there is a little trick, but I don't want to do it. So just avoid these dark notes for now. We can add extra notes to these chords as long as it's one of these highlighted notes, which is the white keys. So I'll just add them at random. Not bad. Let's hear what we got. You can play around too if you don't know what you're doing. Sounds mushy down here, so I'm gonna take that one out. And you don't have to keep these three notes either. You could move one of them. Then you can move these bass notes. That's something. That's how you would do it if you don't know anything. That works for me. But if you do know something, I don't know, if you know something, then you know how to do it, maybe. The way I write chord progressions is upstairs on the piano. It feels like I can't really play the piano on a keyboard the way I can play on a real piano. You know, I'll just basically go upstairs for an hour and play around. And at some point, I'll just accidentally play something that I like. One useful thing is changing the key of the song for one chord. So even if you were to play like, let me see. Something like that. I don't know. That was a really bad example. I'm sorry. Let me try something else. Let me move the mic here. All right. Voicing is, as far as I know, how you play one chord, but there's so many different ways to play the exact same notated chord. So voicing is just kind of the beauty of taking a chord and playing it in different parts of the piano. All right, I'm going to start with this chord and see if I can write something interesting. Okay, I'm going to do that. That's just something that came out. But there's a bit of stuff going on. This is a weird change, but it's technically not changing the key. It's just the first chord of the progression with the third as the bass note. So when it resolves back to the first chord, something happens. I don't know. Some kind of weird philosophical, poetic, barely poetic. Doesn't have to be a good poem. But it feels like it's already resolved, but just not quite. I like hearing Jacob Collier talk about it because he knows a lot more, especially about like old chord theory, where there's like a chord progression is like a journey away from home and then back to the home where you started, which is kind of a weird thing, but that's what a lot of chord progressions sound like. It sounds kind of like not home, back home. That seems to be how scholars think of chord progressions. For new music, it seems like a bit more postmodern. I think I saw a video once talking about how if you were to play a chord progression that never really has the journey and never resolves and just kind of loops around in a weird way, it sounds kind of like you're stuck in a dream. And that's kind of the basis for modern music somehow. I've played since I was 4, but I wouldn't say it counted too much. I'd say I really started playing when I was 10. So if you had like this chord progression, just looping, it's missing pretty much the major points of what a chord progression should have, which is like so it never really does anything, but it sounds better now, especially in modern music. That's what we do. You'll very rarely hear a dominant 7 chord. What's it called? The Mixolydian? No. Lydian, Mixolydian. It's just corny now. At one point, that was like, we were all used to that, and it didn't sound corny at all, but now it's like disgusting. We should all bring it back. Work together. If I'm writing a chord progression, here's one interesting thing that I found out. If you play, let's see what it is. I think if it's in C and you play the C triad over all the chords, it sounds really contemporary. Like, I'm not changing this at all, except for the inversion. But somehow this is like a really known chord in like future style music. Or Sampha uses this a lot. So yeah, lately I've been doing stuff with that. A lot of different combinations of chords with the wrong bass note sound cool. Not that. For especially when I was working on Like What, I did a lot of stuff with just penciling in chords, and then from there, when I learned the chords that I penciled in, it kind of changed the way that I play piano. So chords like clusters of notes from the scale. So basically, when you pencil it in, you don't really think about having to play it at some point, but I had to learn all the stuff I played, which is kind of ridiculous. Like I'm trying to play the intro to Fault Line. I think it's in. I can't. But chords like this, I learned just from penciling in notes. Or Slippers. Like this kind of. That's again so it's in B flat, but the key is F major. So here's F major over the B flat. That's pretty much all I know about chord progressions and chords. There's definitely a hidden poetry to chord progressions that can't be put into words. So I would just experiment and see. It's kind of like writing a little story that has no words and you can't read it. Okay. I have to move on. Definitely most of it is hidden subconsciously, and I could never teach anybody. I could teach a little bit about jazz chords, but I don't know that too much. Definitely every progression that I've used has something sort of like this. That stuff I probably picked up from having to learn jazz songs off of lead sheets. I forget, there's a few songs that had chord progressions like that. Another thing I used to do is write the chord progression without any jazz, so it would be something like. And then taking each chord and seeing how I could play with it to make it more jazzy. So just adding this. Once again, I don't know how I can explain it. But that's how I did songs that had solos in them. I'd have the normal chord progression. Let me think of some other. So I had that, but I knew I needed to put a solo in the song, so I just changed some of the chords. I forget what the solo, how it goes. I'm sorry. Let's move on. Okay. After egg, programming drums. Okay, that should be easier for me to explain. I wonder how I should show this. Let's just start from scratch and see how that goes. There's a big debate whether kick drums should be on a simpler or on an audio track. I recommend audio tracks. I'm going to just take this random kick drum sample and mess with it until it sounds good. Already a lot better. I'll do this part quick because it's supposed to be about drum programming. I like higher samples. Somehow they're easier to work with and they sound cooler. So in a kick drum sample, there's going to be like the attack up here. Especially if it looks like this when you zoom in, there's a higher frequency that goes to a lower frequency. So you can adjust the attack here and you can adjust the tone down here. So I usually go in and turn both of those up. Just seems to clarify the sample instead of having all this stuff going on. This stuff's really nasty up here. I don't know what happened to him, but let's crop the sample and open it in Isotope. This could be loud, I'm not sure. I can't turn it down though, so you're screwed. Everyone, hold on to your horses. Not so bad. Okay. As you can see, this sample is super gross. The high end just stays on the top here. Definitely not great for the clarity of the samples, so I can select just this high frequency and fade it out. Especially this. This is something you just don't want in all the kick drums in your song. So let's do this. That sounds better. It's definitely over compressed too as well, but I fixed that in Ableton with the fade. So I'm just gonna let it be now. A lot better, and now I can turn up these high frequencies without hearing this hiss over the duration of the sample. This won't even be heard in the song, but it'll just bring the kick drums a bit more to the front. Okay, moving on. Kick and snare are the hardest to do, especially like in this area. It can be really interesting. You can get like almost like woodblock sounds. So I'll do that. All right. Let's freeze and flatten this now. Okay, let's make the snare drum fast as possible. Thanks for the subscription. I don't know why these are the only snare samples I have. Oh, it's because I moved everything. I like the J Dilla stuff. I'm going to use something from here. This is cool. I'm going to remove this first part of it. Once again, there's like, and for snares, it can be cool actually, but there's definitely a click at the end of this. So I'm going to edit that out as well. One thing also all these samples have, which is hilarious, is this huge low frequency. So you can take that as well. And I think it's direct current because when I take out this fundamental frequency, all the others disappear. And I can probably pull out a little bit more than that too. Okay. That's better. Let's pitch this out too. And EQ it. This is where the, like if you have a real snare and you hit it without the snares on, you'll just hear, it sounds kind of like a timbale or a tom. And that's where this stuff is. And then the snares are here. So even on like, unless it's a digital sample, I mean, even analog samples have it because it's trying to recreate what a snare drum is. So snares have this like tom-tom tone down here and then a noise layer on top. So you can kind of make your snares a lot warmer over here. I'm not so into this one as I am into this. And let's see, over here is going to be kind of the bulk attack of the snare, and up here is going to be kind of stuff that could be a problem. So yeah, it's pretty hissy up here. Not great. I'm actually going to edit that as well. The same way I did the kick drum. The high end just sustains too long and it sounds like sandpaper. Sorry, this is difficult to zoom. Okay. That's loud. Sorry, everyone. Okay, here you can see the... I have a feeling this is just a result from the sample getting compressed. So I'm going to do the same thing. Fade it out. Actually, what could be cool is even just cut it. No. Not good. It's really not good. All right. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to attenuate these sharp frequencies. And then I'm going to fade it. Not working. Couple things I can do. There we go. I kind of like the look of that. Okay, let's save this. So now these high frequencies sound a lot better. I guess this was supposed to be about drum programming, but now it's turned into something else. I'm going to pitch it up and add a tom underneath it. Okay, let's see how that sounds. Interesting. Really not great. I chose the wrong snare drum sound, for sure. More interesting than an 808 snare, though. I'm not reading these comments, sorry. If you don't have RX, you're screwed, I think. You could do some weird stuff. Like, you could take the snare drum sound and send it to multiple return tracks, and then in each one use, what is there? I think EQ1 can do it, or EQ3, and separate it like this, so that one's playing one set of frequency and one playing the other. I don't know why this is not working. I need sends only. So here's the bass. Now you could maybe bounce out each as a stem and then be able to change. Or yeah, multi-band compression could definitely do it, but now you're getting into really dirty stuff. I'm going to try and salvage what I'm making here. This is not going well. Okay, this is my new snare drum. How lush. Listen to this. Very proud. Let's get into it. So I'm reversing and repitching everything. I'm going to try and do something just with the kick and snare. This is why I like audio instead of using a sampler. I don't know where the grid is. I need a click track. Oh my god. Okay, the biggest problem with using this is you can't shuffle anything. So I'm going to do that manually. on every, so on these, anything on this grid line and this grid line. So the second and fourth, if it's set to 8th. So this one and this one, just dragging them forward one by one is the only way to do it. Okay, let's add some hi-hats. One thing that's cool is if you take a shaker sample and start it in the middle, it'll sound like a hi-hat. I'll use this one. That's cool. I don't know why the EQ has this plateau. Okay, let's put this weird sound I made into it. I'm going to put it on 2 and 4. See what it sounds like. Okay, let's add some variation to this. I like to make my own grooves if I ever use the groove pool, just by making a MIDI track and recording. So like running the click and just recording 16ths. I guess these are 8ths. I can't play 16ths this fast. And then you can convert that to a groove and use that. That's fun. All right, let's load in a bunch of random sounds, and that's where it'll get a bit more interesting. Perfect. Hockey ball. If you don't know about polyrhythms, it's basically just put like random notes, or not random, put something, a random number of notes apart and just let it loop into itself. That's all a polyrhythm is. I guess it's not all a polyrhythm is. You could have a pattern that's repeating, but for the most part, I think it's this. I'm going to add a few more sounds. I have a couple of samples that I like to use for drums, if I can find them. These guys are really fun. They're just frequency sweeps really fast, but they're really useful for, especially when they're reversed. It sounds like the samples are getting sucked into a tiny black hole. That's super loud, sorry. But yeah, these are really useful, especially with synths and stuff like that. These are in this trap step pack that I downloaded a long time ago. But you can make one just as easily in Massive even, just by making a sine wave and putting an envelope on the frequency. Pretty annoying. So this has to be faster, definitely. If you want to get rid of that, you could just bounce it out. Or you could do this, I think. That's basically it. Or if you want it the opposite way. Things like that are really useful for programming percussion if you're layering stuff. And so I'll add some more of these, but put them the right way. That's something. Okay, I don't know. Let me know if that was interesting or not. I'm not sure it was. I think this is being controlled by something. I'll add a sound on it just for context. I'm not sure this is going to be great. Whatever. Okay. Definitely by the time I start actually programming drums, I have a lot of good samples that work together. Unlike this. This is alright, but I feel like it's just not really working together very well. You could add some like tambourine loop if you wanted. Let's see what I have. I think I only have Canadian tambourine. Unless it's spelled like this, but I feel like it's no U if it's an American tambourine. Oh yeah, white noise. Let's add some white noise. Perfect. I have some stuff. Let's try tape. Perfect. FLAC too. How high quality is this? Immediately better. This is the worst egg shaker sample I think I've ever downloaded. I don't know why I downloaded this. That kind of noise is really hard to get rid of too because it covers the entire frequency range. It's not even in time. Oh no. Let's see, maybe he got his stuff together here. This is really bad. One thing I love to do with loops is use the beat transients mode and set it really short. It's not the best results with this sample, but especially for tambourines, you can make it sound like something totally different. So I just have beats mode and it's set on the transients. So every loud note, it'll basically turn down the sample after each transient. Let's do a bit of panning and see if this will sound better. Never pan your kicks. I wonder why not. Why can't we pan our kicks? Because it hurts. It's actually painful. I do pan my snares actually. Sometimes very little, like just slightly left or slightly right of center. But it's cool. I think it's a good move. It gets away from the kick drum, which has to be center. All right, let's add a couple more things, which I inevitably add to every track on percussion. This is going to take, well, let me actually not do this. For anybody watching for the first time, I use this on every track. Let me show you how it works. If I pan before the reverb, it'll still be panned. Let me try for the click, sorry. Best plugin ever. Better than this for sure. It actually sounds like it might have actually existed in real life as some kind of weird metallic object. Those are my massive presets. Maybe, how about this? I'll send this massive patch list on the Discord for all the subscribers. I think that's an okay incentive to subscribe. What am I doing? Okay. I have air bubbles in my upper lip. God help me. If there's any doctors watching, can you tell me what's wrong with me? So with this reverb off, the guy wants the massive patches. He doesn't even like the stream, he just wants the patches. Okay. Yeah, immediately so much better. So I'm going to add this to pretty much all of them. Crazy, right? Oh yeah, the subchannel is hidden unless you connect your... I might have to resync it after the stream, in which case if your Discord's already connected with Twitch, it'll show up. Or just mention me if you can't see it and you're subscribed. All right, let's add some more of these. I'm going to leave it off the zap, but I'm going to pan the zap. Thanks for the subscription. This is super loud, sorry. I find that if I solo my drum tracks, I can barely listen to them. It just hurts my ears. It's all the little micro silences between the samples, I think. It turns my ear on and off. Okay, let's take this sample and do something special with it. Maybe a spring reverb would be cool. Hello. Thanks. Another subscriber. Perfect. Everyone wants the massive patches. I'll also put cooler stuff in there. I'm going to try and think of anything that I can give people that are subscribed, because up until this point I haven't been doing anything other than saying thank you. Oh, and thank you. Bakawashima. Bakawashima. Is it Japanese? Maybe. Yeah, I think Kawashima. Last name? Perfect. Okay, that's sweet. Apparently, I actually need to do something for people that spend money on this. Noted. What happening? Okay, I like this infinite decay time. It's weird how one sample with reverb puts everything else into the weirdest context. Oh, I'm trying to show people how to program drums using audio tracks, which seems to be a very hated way of doing it. But I love it because I can reverse this kick drum right before another kick drum like this. I use a lot of inverted, reversed kick drums. I think it sounds cool. You could technically do it in a drum rack, but you'd need a lot of stuff. You'd need a reverse sample. You'd need 2 samplers for each sound, one reverse and one not. And then even then, you couldn't do other things like, say you wanted to fade this one in the start of it for a softer kick drum instead of, you can control the transients. I don't want to hear this as often, so I'm going to duplicate the time and delete that. This is in desperate need of some air reverb, so let's do that. Am I facing the wrong way? I just kind of really... Oh, no, I'm not. Okay. I had a feeling that my webcam was like the screen and then me just facing off the boundary of the screen. Sounds like a very, very light horse. It's like a 6-gram horse. Check this out. Oh, you can't hear it. I think it's because I'm smiling, and then when I stop smiling, I put my lip out like this, and it catches air bubbles. It's driving me crazy, though. Oh yeah, it's the group on the Discord is called Ye Old Bathhouse, the subscriber channel. Okay, I hope this was slightly informative on how I program drums. It's definitely not this simple, and definitely takes me a lot longer. Fixing my upper lip. I don't know what's going on. I might call 911. All right, let's see. What's next on the voter? I'm going to save some of these for the next stream, I think, because I've been doing it for like 1 hour and 45 minutes. I could show you egg again, if anybody wants to see egg. I don't think I went too in depth. Where are we? Okay. Program drums is 48, which means the next one is extending ideas into the song. Okay. I think that was Bashful's. You didn't vote twice, did you? If you voted twice, you know what the next one is. It's creating ambiences. I'll save this. I think I put enough effort into this that it's worth saving. Drum programming. I think a good way to show you how to extend an idea into a song is to just take an idea and extend it into a song, which I hate doing. It's one of the crappiest things. Until it's actually a song, or until it sounds like a song and it's just the little loop you made, it's one of the hardest things, is to like just get in there and try and make it into something. But I have company, which means it's not going to be too hard. Let's see what I got. I have a lot of ideas saved as WAV files, so. This is not great. In fact, I'm so embarrassed that I even made this. But all my ideas sound like that. I don't know what that is. I made this on stream. I don't know how I would possibly turn this into a song other than just loop it. I like this song. This song is really sweet for some reason. It's definitely corny, but it has a charm to it. There's this one. I'll lay them out so you guys can vote which one I should open. Oh my god. Can you guys read the names of the clips? Okay, here's another one. You can hear pots and pans and cups and stuff because I recorded that in coffee shop. This is an old one that I lost the project file, so I just can't extend that one. Oh, I made this a while ago. I think it's kind of cool, but definitely just James Blake. It's like James Blake, except my voice is so bad. Thanks for the subscription. Okay, some people like Fat Larry. Let's just do it. I think it's already extended. That's not gonna work. Sorry. Oh, I have this guy. I think Fat Larry was the name of the drum loop. Yeah. So I use that. I'm never going to make these into songs, so pick wisely. It might actually turn out into something if I convince myself to turn it into something. Thanks for the subscription. I think today might be the best day for subscriptions. I'm going to do a lot more. I'm going to give you also... I'm uploading all the samples that I have downloaded from Freesound. I think I mentioned that earlier, but I'm going to send that in as well. Also, whatever you request, like if you want to hear like some idea that I'm playing, I'll send it to you. I don't know why you'd want 10 seconds, but okay. I forget. Maybe I'm seeing Igloo from the same person, but okay, let's just do Igloo. This is gonna be hard. I'm already I'm already regretting it. Let's see. I don't know where it is. Oh yeah, I'll upload a tiny album sampler too for the next EP. So we've got a lot of loops going. So the way I turn an idea into a song is I drag the whole, I don't know what this is. Oh, we got a second section. That'll be helpful. I think I made this on stream actually. All right, let's drag everything over and turn this into a song. Depending on, it's some kind of weird philosophy, like depending on how far you drag this away, like sometimes if I'm feeling really determined, I'll drag it away the length of the song I intend to make. Like I'll make a 4-minute song, so I'll make sure it's over here so it never gets in the way. And if I'm feeling pretty unconfident, I'll just drag it enough so that there's a little bit of blank space here. I'm feeling very unconfident, but we're just going to do this. Okay. Is that actually Igloo Ghost? That would be funny. I have a feeling it's not. But yeah, this is definitely named Igloo because of Igloo Ghost. All right. I'm going to basically abandon the entire idea that I have and make something new inspired by it. That seems to be exactly how I get out of this problem every time. So out of all the parts that I have, I'll pick whichever one sounds like there's definitely enough there that it could end up in a final song. Bass is all right. This will never stay, but something of it will probably stay. So that's all right. But the reason this sounds like an idea and not a song is because I would never include something like this. This is a really cool track and definitely sampled from something better than this. What's poop on stream? What are you guys suggesting I do? Okay, all these are pretty bad. But this track. And this track are cool. And that track is really bad. Okay, I'm gonna use this and see if I can fix it. Let's just write the next part of this. No. Let's play something. something. Okay, I don't particularly like that, but it's a little more inspiring somehow. Something like that. And then I can put, ooh, hi. Whatever. Now I can layer something on this first note. I used this a long time ago, but I think it's gonna work. It's definitely in key. I don't know what the usage rights for this was. It's such a weird sample. Just so you know, there won't be any subscriber only poop video on the Discord. I'm gonna take little clips of this. I like that. There seems to be someone screaming in the background. Or a dog. The other thing I would suggest for getting out of an idea and into a song is make something crazy. Just because it's just an idea, there's no stakes on the grill. I don't know what I'm saying. The stakes are low. There's nothing to lose by making something bad by accident, trying to make something good, which seems to be what holds me back a lot of the time, is worrying about making something bad in a way that's like so abstract that it's not worrying about making something bad, but like, I don't know what it is, but it's like confirming that you're getting worse at it or something. I wish I knew exactly what it was, but it's a fear of something. And it's completely irrational because you can just hit undo if you make something that doesn't work. Let me know if you feel the same way. Maybe that's just me. For a long time, it felt like I was reading a bunch of quotes on Facebook and stuff that was like, if you don't love what you're doing all the time, then stop. Or like, if, I don't know, there's some bad quotes out there. You know what's happening is everyone's watching Netflix and I'm streaming the stream on my laptop. Let me stop doing that. There's no point. I will open up the chat and exit everything else. Okay. What was I talking about?
Quotes.
Hmm?
Quotes. Facebook quotes.
Facebook codes?
Quotes.
Oh, Facebook quotes. Yeah. Yeah, like, I think it should be a little hard because you're supposed to be challenging yourself and you're working on something. You're creating something from nothing. I mean, if you're lucky if you have fun the whole time. But it took me a while to kind of catch on to better quotes from like famous writers and stuff that say the hardest part about being a writer is starting writing, is like pulling out the program or like pulling up the paper and starting to write. It used to be an escape from homework, and then when I stopped having homework, that's when it started to set in that it was hard to like just work on music and write music. What's organic signal processing? I have no idea. This is not good. I'm kind of just trying to talk instead of extend this idea into a song. Maybe it's subconscious, a way of averting the task. Ooh-ha-ha. The funny thing, I was thinking about it yesterday, the beat for Chance the Rapper's brother, Taylor Bennett, I made that originally before I went in the studio with Aloe Black back in 2014. So it was like a really old thing that I made, and then we ended up not using it. I don't have any granular synthesis stuff at all. I know there's an isotope. I think Iris can do it. Let me show you how I do granular synthesis. This is really silly. If I can remember how to do it. Okay. Let's see. Let's grab something. What's that doing on there? Let's use Brush Snare 3 by Herbert Boland. Yeah, he's honestly like some kind of superhuman. All right, let me see if I can remember how to do this. I'm going to create a loop. Sorry. There's something about this particular sample that's really hilarious. So I'm going to try and like automate this. And if I can remember how to do it, I need to go into here. And I can change the loop start. And set this to noise. This might not be the best sample, to be honest. You can see it's like picking between here and... This is crazy. I actually love this idea. Let me pick a better sample. I wonder how this would be. it's a nightmare. I love it. This is incredible. All right. Sorry, everyone that's watching. How many viewers did I lose just now? I need a better. I need like a single field of information. I'm turning to your submitted samples. They seem to be a lot better for stuff like this.
Get down.
Okay, this sounds perfect. So now if I set the crossfade, you won't really hear anything other than kind of like granular synthesis. I think that's sick. I'm gonna get a single note. I just realized that's gonna work better. Vitamin D, right now, I'm trying to turn this idea into a song. And failing. But I have distracted myself with this terrible trick you can do with simpler or a sampler that I figured out. I think it's pretty awesome. I forgot about this for a while. And this sample is working perfectly. Why? Oh, because it's randomizing the start time. So it's not looping until it hits the start time. Which is annoying. Sorry, everyone watching. I feel like the viewer count's just gonna plummet. Okay, I've done it. Here we go. Version 1. Is that a chicken? Okay. Okay. I hate how this starts. I wish it would start in the loop, but I don't know how to do it. I think it has to play the whole thing. Or I could set this on a really fast. Oh yeah, you're gonna hear that. Okay. Let me put release on this. And a slower attack. Maybe I can get rid of that at the beginning. MacBook. Is it bad? I'm going to turn off the sample interpolation. Welcome to hell. Interpolation is basically what happens when the sample is repitched. I don't even know, like, you'd think that just repitching a sample wouldn't create so much artifacts, but I guess interpolation has something to do with the algorithm with repitching the sample to different keys. So if it's on best, it's doing its absolute hardest job to like, preserve all the high frequencies as it pitches down. Please write stuff with more of this. More of what? This sound? Oh yeah, I'll play the original sample here. It's terrifying. It's actually really scary somehow. Death Angel. Neat. I don't know what this sound is. I think I was talking when I made this. Yeah, it's definitely very burial-esque. Especially because it's mono. I like this. It's actually turning out okay. Now I'm going to try and bring back some elements from the original idea. The goal is to make the original idea sound very unappealing to what you've created with it. That's actually one of my favorite feelings, is like you have the main part of your song and you're convinced that it's like, this is like going to be the best part of the song. And then you make like an intro and a verse, and suddenly you go back to the chorus that you had or whatever, like the drop, and it just doesn't sound good anymore. And you're like, okay, I thought that was good and now I have something better. So everything's great. That's when everything is working in your favor. Tuning a whole song, I just do at the beginning. So I've had to in the past, but I definitely don't go about repitching it after I have enough tracks. What usually happens is I'll bounce out the idea. So let's say I have this idea that we're working on. Once it's just the start of the idea, I'll bounce it out and repitch it and figure out where it sounds best. So usually it's not any much farther away from zero than like 2 semitones. Another thing that's cool is characteristics of musical keys. I think you can see this now. This is the wrong thing. There's this really cool site. Anyways, you can find different, like this one. I wouldn't take it too much to heart. It's kind of like pseudoscience, but this is like, let's say you're in this key, you can check what it says here. Deep depression. Ooh, let's avoid that. Is Google Chrome a big risk? That's why I was switching from my camera away, but I understand. I hope I was switching away. I definitely don't like opening the browser on stream. It feels like my whole life is in front of everybody. Okay, I just realized I've been streaming for 2 hours and 20 minutes, and I think it's been enough. I'm going to say goodnight to everybody, and I'm going to say especially thanks to all the people who subscribed today. It seems like a whole lot of you did. And as promised, I'll send the synth list that I use for the live show, which is basically every massive patch that's in a Tennyson song. So I'll send that over, as well as every sample that I have from Freesand. Oh, thanks for the subscription. Maybe I'll keep adding perks. I'm doing this again tomorrow at the same time. Another subscription. Perfect. Thank you, True Mezzo and Ancora. Right. So if you Discord the join, you'll see if it's connected. If you have your Discord connected to your Twitch, you'll see a new channel called Ye Old Bathhouse, and that's where I'll be sharing stuff. Okay. Thanks for watching, and thanks for the bits. And I'll see you tomorrow. Hold on. I want to get a riser. I need an extra long riser. Just hold on for a second. Okay, this one looks pretty long. Let's do this.